Now, the call for environmental justice in the Niger Delta has taken on new urgency as activists, traditional rulers, and environmental advocates converged on Yenagoa. Dr. Gray reports.
From toxic rivers to blackened farmlands, the Niger Delta has long borne the scars of oil exploration. Now, voices across the region are rising in unison for accountability and environmental repair. At the 4th Niger Delta Alternatives Convergence in Yenagoa, hosted by the Health of Mother Earth Foundation, participants drawn from all 9 Niger Delta states demanded urgent action, themed environmental genocide, time for remediation, restoration and reparations. The event served as both protest and proposal. A key highlight was the demand for a $150 billion fund to drive environmental surveys, cleanup, operations and reparations for devastated communities.
Now for the Niger Delta, we believe that we need at least $150 billion to be spent that will cover the survey and the initial cleanup, and then multiples of that as compensation for peoples and communities who have had their environment damaged and who have had their health damaged. All the so-called divestment approved by the government should be reversed.
Dr. Isaac Oswaka, who delivered the keynote, linked the crisis to years of government neglect and corporate impunity.
All over the world, there's understanding that whichever entity is responsible for polluting an area should be held responsible for the cleanup. And the Niger Delta, Nigeria should not be different. It is very clear that international oil companies like Shell, like Total, like Chevron have for many decades devastated the Niger Delta environment. And this has been shown to be deliberate with the collusion of the Nigerian state, we must say. But these companies should be held responsible for the cleanup of the land, for the restoration of the land, and for reparation, all forms of reparation.
Traditional rulers also lent their voices, warning that ecological collapse is now threatening culture and survival.
The likelihood of all of those abandoned wells exploding and polluting us more is so high that we think that this backhand behind the curtain selling off assets should not be. A government is meant to protect its citizens. The Niger Delta people are citizens of it, and we're supposed to be protected.
The governors should bury their heads in shame. The federal legislators, whether in Senate, House of Representatives, or even state assemblies, commissioners, they all should collectively bury their heads in shame because they have been a very big disgrace and they have actually neglected their people. All they do is just to bestride our land like a colossal. Our leaders here, governors, senators, they are not doing anything for us.
Anger, frustration filled the room as stakeholders condemned years of federal inaction.
Increase in cancer cases, increase in the problem associated with childbirth, changes in the menstrual cycle of people, fertility problems. We are becoming worried, and there are a preponderance of research findings to associate some of these things to heavy metals, hydrocarbons in the systems of people, particularly in the areas where this exploitation is going on.
Those of us who live in the Niger Delta, like I am standing here, I have maybe barrels of oil. I'm really worried, and I really would like to invest. And if I do invest, then somebody has to pay for allowing oil to be in my blood.
The message from Yenagoa was unified and urgent. Bold action must replace broken promises, and the Niger Delta must be restored. Dr. Gray, Plus TV News by Elsa.
Hello, hope you enjoyed the news. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to hit the notification button so you get notified about fresh news updates.